grab, and he's going to be sacked.
Broncos country, we are here from around the world, giving you a fantastic preview today of what the Broncos should do in the trenches. We're also going to talk a little bit about Jonah Ellis, a few other things. Of course, you guys make the show fantastic. Darian is already in here. He's on all the freaking streams all at once. So y'all got to do what he does. Go subscribe to all my friends. Mark, Jeremy, and Kodiak. Their link is in the description. And oh my God, man, we're popping off today. Hit that like, subscribe, hype what Kodiak shows, hype the video, man. And appreciate every single one of y'all like getting in here, man. This is going to be a fun show. And we'll hit it off here with Jackson's comment, guys. He said, I hope everyone survived their Monday. I'm so ready for the draft. This Broncos news desert sucks. And yes, we got a lot to talk about, though, today. We're going to make this a fun show. But let's go ahead and dive into this, guys. Before we get to the trench play, could what we do in the draft be altered a little bit on what the plan is for Jonah Ellis? So if you guys don't know this, if you're living under a rock, Jonah Ellis, they say that he's going to play some snaps. What does that mean? At inside linebacker. Kodiak, we'll start it off with you. What do you think this means? And what would you do if you were Sean Payton? If you had the head coach control here with Jonah Ellis? Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
Oh, and while he's turning out his mic, forgot to say, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks, baby. Let's go. All right. Kodiak, are you here? Dude, you're still nowhere. Technical difficulties. All right. Well, while he's getting all that figured out, we'll go to Jeremy, man.
Yeah. So I took it at like getting some snaps was just like, I'm going to take it right now as getting some snaps. I'm not going to take it as he's changing positions. He's no longer going to be an edge rusher, any of that kind of thing. I think it's just he has the ability to play both ways. So we're going to give him some snaps at that. And I think worst case scenario, if he's not showing you what you want to see, he's fine as a pass rusher. So I think they just have a luxury there, and they just are trying to get their best players on the field, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't overreact to that, but I saw a lot of people being like, "That's it, it's over." In our comments, even.
Yeah.
So,
how do you feel like he might be deployed? Mark, do you feel like it's going to be any different than what Jeremy just said?
I think it's all smoke, man. I think it's all BS. At least I hope it is. Because if I was to take it seriously, and if I had like a crystal ball and I could fast forward and Jonah Ellis is actually taking snaps at inside linebacker, I think it would be an absolute travesty in every way. It would just be stupid. Like, you know, you talked about, like, you got rid of Dre Greenlaw because you talked about, we couldn't keep all of them, even though you obviously could have if you wanted to. You didn't do anything at inside linebacker but bring your own guys back because you were super confident in them. And then now you're trying to sell us that you believe in your guys, but you're going to take one of your good, like really good, high ceiling young pass rushers, take them away from doing that to play inside linebacker. It just, I don't know. I hate the idea of it. People have made some good arguments as to why. And again, if it's a few here or there in very specific packages, you know, fine. But I think it's all smoke. I think that they are going to look hard at the draft for inside linebacker, specifically at pick 62. And it's the draft to do it. So I wasn't really a big fan of that. I think he said a lot of cool things. I liked a lot of what they had to say in those meetings, but that one definitely was not one of them. You know, I'd much rather heard Lil Jordan Humphrey's going to take snaps at tight end. That actually makes a lot more sense to me than Jonah Ellis at inside linebacker. So not a fan of it, but again, I don't think it's, you know, that big of a deal. Even if it happens, I think it'd be very limited.
Kodiak, is your mic working now?
I mean, are you guys with me? Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah, you sound like you're in an echo chamber, but it's listenable.
Okay, as long as it's listenable. You know what? I'm going to try a few more things. But either way, so with Jonah Ellis, like, once again, I was one of those people that I didn't freak out. I'm a little more excited than everybody else. The reason I'm a little excited is because I think we need to look to as many avenues as possible to getting inside linebacker play. And if that means taking from our strongest position and giving him some snaps, then that's fine. As long as it is just some snaps, which you never know with this coaching staff, you never know with this front office. So yes, as long as it is just some snaps, then I'm okay with it. Worst case scenario, you just say forget about it. And I'd be nervous about Ellis if he were a rookie that we were trusting to do with this, but he's a proven strong backup edge. So if it doesn't work out, he's not going to flow out in the NFL.
Yeah, man. I'll go ahead and pull this up again. Sorry that we all sound terrible tonight. I don't know
Check
why
your
that
speakers,
is.
BK.
Yeah, but hey, we'll try and get through this. But I wanted to throw this out. I think Cody Rourke put this out earlier this week. I like Raz, right? You guys know I love that raw athletic score. If Jonah Ellis was a linebacker coming out, you'd have a 9.96 RAS. That's only 0.4 below Sonny Styles, right? Now, we don't know what he was going to run with the 40-yard dash. That could be, the score could be a little inflated because of that. But this is how I feel about it, man. If you're going to do it, go balls to the wall and put him as the starting Mike linebacker. I dare you, Vance Joseph, to take one of our athletic freaks on the edge and actually make him a difference maker out here. I mean, that would be, fantastic. Like Kodiak said, you can always move him back to edge. But what I fear us doing is kind of having him be half and half. I'm not sure I like that, man. If we're able to get Jonah Ellis on the field all the time at inside linebacker and he takes Alex Singleton's spot, that would be fantastic. But we all know Alex Singleton's not coming off the field. So you probably just stick him at edge. That would piss off Justin Sternad, right? If we take Jonah Ellis or put him on the field for Justin Sternad. But the Alex Singleton thing kind of screws this whole thing up. But I do think to kind of, before we segue, but it does help segue, is that if we actually do convert him to inside linebacker, I don't think we need to draft a linebacker high. I still think we need to draft a linebacker, but maybe we're able to focus more on trenches, which I think would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Any additional thoughts on that, Kodiak?
I mean, wait, are you guys able to hear me now? I switched it back to my regular mic.
It's better, yeah.
Okay. So once again, you guys already kind of hit on this, but Jonah Ellis could be part of the solution. But the way this move has already failed is if you go, nope, we got Ellis as our inside linebacker 3. We are good heading into the season. Okay. This move is already a failure, even though I'm one of the people that, I'm supportive of it. This is not Baron Browning all over again. Baron Browning had instability at inside linebacker and went to edge. Okay. I don't agree with that. It's like the Baron Browning move back in the day, especially because Ellis has already flashed that he could be a solid backup edge in the NFL. Okay. But, once again, there's nothing worse than being complacent in the NFL. And for better or for worse, the Broncos seem pretty darn complacent at inside linebacker. So, once again, you cannot go into this draft being like, yep, Jonah Ellis at inside linebacker 3, circle, star, highlight, square. That's fine, and we're fantastic. No. No, you ain't. You still need to get younger. You still need to get better at that position, especially with a guy who is a true inside linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Well said. We'll see what happens. T-Fish is coming in here saying, hey, I don't think Jonah turns into a full-blown inside linebacker. I believe he just takes snaps in certain situations. I think we're reading into it too much. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting. Like on third downs, a lot of times you only have one linebacker out there. Are we going to take Alex Singleton finally off the field on third downs for Jonah Ellis?
Or maybe they want to run 2 linebackers now with Jonah as being one of them. But it's just, like I said, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather have them He's great at stopping the run. I'd rather have him do that or get after the passer like you've seen him do so often,
Yeah.
And I just don't want it to be an excuse to not address this position because we haven't addressed it in God knows how long. And so I want to see something tangible there, an actual inside linebacker playing. But
yeah, the other
it'll be
like
a fun
weird
camp storyline. I know that.
Yeah, because like I know Justin Sternad's worn the green dot before, but from what I know about the rules, right? Like if you got both him and Singleton out there, only one guy can have a green dot helmet. So if you were to take Singleton off the field, Sternad still has to come off to the sideline, right, and put on a new helmet, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's why Singleton's like been out there still on third downs. Theoretically, if Jonah Ellis is, on the bench or on the sideline half the time, he could just come on in with one of those helmets and call the defense. And maybe it is something that can work in that regard because you can't switch out Alex Singleton and Sternad.
Well, at that point, I don't know why you wouldn't just give the green dot to Hufanga. Like, I remember when we played against Kansas City in the first game, I remember a lot of people thought that Hufanga was going to get the green dot. So, because he gets 100% of the snaps as long as he's healthy. So, yeah, I mean, you are right, though. You are right, though. And I do hope Sternad comes into his own with that green dot role this upcoming year. Like, I would love for him to be call the defense guy. And I would love for him in 4 years to be he's a captain, he can call the defense guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and transition into the draft stuff. We're going to go through and take you guys through, I think, a lot of our trench players, specifically day 3, I think is what we discussed in the chat. No, just favorite trench guys. And then maybe we can get to a mock draft if we have some time, guys. I think that would be a lot of fun. But Jeremy, you had something that you wanted to share before we dive into some of this stuff.
Yeah, real quick. I'll blow through this. I meant to say this the week I wasn't here was right after the Waddle trade. And I kept hearing all these people being like, oh my gosh, they gave up so much draft capital. It was a first, a third, and a fourth. And then they didn't factor in the fact that we actually like upgraded our 4th round pick by a lot. So this real quick is a draft points guide on how much each draft spot is worth points wise from an NFL. They're all basically relatively close, depending on what club you're looking at. I think this one was the Patriots or something like that. But if you look at what we gave up the 30th pick. That's worth 620 points. We also gave up the 94th pick, which is 124 points, which now we're at a total of 744 points. Then we swapped. Let me pull it up just so I can be 100% accurate here.
We should have gained 30 points with the swap.
We gained 30 points exactly. We ended up swapping 4th round picks and gained 30. So if you have 744 and then you minus 30 off of that, you are now at 714. So what pick is worth 714 points? Basically the 25th pick in the draft. That's what you gave up for Jalen Waddle, the former number 6th overall pick, and a guy who's gotten 3 1,000-yard seasons and a 900-yard season. Are you going to be able to get, for the value of the 25th overall pick, somebody of Jalen Waddle's caliber? I don't think so. So them saying they gave up so much, it's basically the 25th overall pick, which I would pretty much do every time for a player that can be, for this team specifically that needed juice, needed actual game breakers. That's a no-brainer for me. So it's going to hurt a little bit while we're watching the draft. Like, oh my gosh, we have to wait through the 3rd. Now we have to wait, that sucks. When you get one, you don't get to pick on day 1 and you get picked once on day 2. But just remember, we gave it basically the 25th overall pick, which I would totally do that every single time. So good value wise, I just hadn't heard anybody break it down points wise like that before. They just kind of stack all everything up and then they go, oh, look up, they gave up this much. And it's like, it's not that much. And the other point I was going to make, last year, they wanted us to trade our number 1 pick, our 1st round pick for Waddle, just straight up. But where were we picking last year? It was,
we didn't know during the season.
20.
But I mean, we were having a pretty decent season. It ended up being the 20th pick if we would have done it. That's 850 points. And we ended up giving up this season 714 points. So you ended up doing much better than you would have done if you did it a year ago. Now, I mean, maybe it helped you through the season, but still, points wise, it was better to hold off. I just heard people making the case like, if we would have done it last year, it would have been less. But it's like, actually, it's not points wise. It's more.
Yeah, no, and it's also significant because of how much cap space we saved by waiting too. You know, he's only having a $5 million cap hit.
Good point.
His option hit March. I think it was like the 5th day of the league year, so it was like March 17th or something, and that's actually money that had to be paid by Miami. So we saved a lot of money on the cap too. But yeah, no, it's a no. I mean, I feel like it's such a no-brainer, and people thought that it was a whole lot, but I really don't think it is at all, especially given where we're at now, you know, and obviously they feel very good about the rest of the roster. So, you know, you might as well go big or go home at that point. And I'm curious too, like, it's going to be interesting how these additional picks, specifically picks 108 and 111, like are we going to do anything with those to package them up to move up? Are we going to move back and try to get more in the guts? Like it gives us a lot of flexibility given that we don't have a first and a third as well. So
I got a question though. How many points do you think it would cost for us to land Dexter Lawrence?
I don't think we have enough draft capital to get Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, the only way I see that happening is the rule that's not going to pass per Sean McVay getting passed, where teams, we go full NBA, where teams can trade their first round pick 5 years out. That is the only way this happens, and even then, I just don't think we have the resources to make it happen. Yeah. Especially if we let JFM walk, because we already committed to the D-line. So how many points would we have to give up to get Dexter Lawrence on this team? Yes. That's my answer. Yes.
But it would be the best defensive line of all time. That's going full balls
to the wall. That's going full balls to the wall. So I don't think it's something that's feasible, to be honest.
It probably isn't. Not at all. But guys, let's go ahead and get to the fun. Well, I guess before we do, Rowan, aren't we supposed to get another 4th round pick that will be next year because of JFM? So we got to wait a full year. But we'll have it, and that will be really nice. But guys, it's time for us to talk about our favorite trench players. Mark, you run an NFL draft channel. Let's have you start out here. Who is one of your favorite trench players, whether it's on the offensive line or defensive line, that you feel like Broncos fans need to be glazing on moving up to the NFL draft?
I'll start with the defensive line because I've talked about the offensive line guy that I like a lot, so I'm sure one of you guys will bring him up. So on the D-line, man, is Grayson Halton, the defensive lineman from Oklahoma. You know, he's a little bit undersized. I get it. Let me just make sure I got the measure. 6'2", 292. But this dude, man, is like, in my opinion, he's a perfect replacement for John Franklin Myers in terms of the roles that VJ likes to have his D lineman in. He's strictly going to be used early on as a pass rushing specialist, get after the passer, beat those smaller interior guys, dominated the Senior Bowl, had a really strong second half of the season. He's just very, very good at rushing the passer. 10.4% pass rush win rate, as you can see here, which is really good for a big man, especially on the inside. He's decent as well against the run. But dude, I love everything about what he does. And when you look at the D-line rotation that we have now, I did an entire exercise on this like by myself one day, and I was really bored. You go down those rabbit holes, and good Lord, did it take up a whole lot more time than I wanted to. But it was pretty crazy how split the snaps were last year at D-line. It was like John Franklin Myers and Ioma Uwazurike had almost similar amount of snaps. And then you had a whole lot of snaps that came in from Malcolm Roach as well. Obviously, he missed the first 4 games. And then Savion Jones, played 33 snaps and like 60 snaps, something for Jordan Jackson. But between those 3 guys, it's really like Ioma's used as a run, like he's the guy that's out there to really stop the run, take on the double teams. Malcolm Roach can do both, but ideally he's the best at also stopping the run, and then they really wanted to utilize John Franklin Myers being able to get after the passer. But again, Malcolm Roach can kind of do both. So I feel like we're kind of lacking with some guys that can really get after the passer a lot. We'll see what Savion Jones ends up doing. Jordan Jackson was surprisingly good against the run. So I like what Grayson Halton brings because he can get into this rotation right away. I think he's a really plus pass rusher from that position, and then also can grow into being just a really good full-time player. But I love Grayson Halton, man. I think he'd be a really good fit here, and he's one of the players to keep an eye out. I think the Broncos probably like him too. I don't know if he'll be there at 62 though, but a lot of the mock drafts have him there. So
PFF has him at 70 as their overall rank.
And his average draft position is 69. So I mean,
yeah. And the only knock people are really saying is he's undersized. He's only 292 and 6'2", so he wins with quickness and effort and movement, but and lack of strength a little bit because he's undersized. But you're right, he's not somebody like the type of guy we have. You want a huge, just an immovable object. That's Wazirike.
Yeah, and we don't really deploy guys like that. Like, we're not big on just having these really ginormous players. Like, I mean, Zach Allen is pretty big for his size, but JFM was not that big of a guy either.
No.
And obviously when they use DJ Jones, he's more of like the nose guy that's just there to take on doubles all day and kind of eat up a bunch of space. But they don't always like to have very big defensive linemen, but they'd rather have, quick guys, and they do a lot of the stunts and all of that. And that's where I think Grayson Halton really, really works. Like, there's a lot of really big bodied, D linemen that I like a lot in this draft. I just don't realistically think the Broncos will go after him because I just don't know how much of a fit it would be. So this is more of a fit than anything, but yeah, I like Grayson Halton. And also, like, 6'2" is, I always like a D lineman that's a little bit shorter. Like, that's why DJ Jones is so good. He's like 6 feet tall, and he's just good because he's always going to have natural leverage being that much shorter than everybody. So sometimes the leverage aspect of it can help him a lot too. So yeah, I'm a big Grayson Halton believer.
If there is anybody, I guess this is mainly for Kodiak, but or you, Mark, do you guys have like an NFL comp for Grayson Halton? If the viewers haven't watched him play, who might be somebody that feel like kind of has similar style?
I mean, it's funny because I kind of, maybe I just looked at it always through the eyes of GFM, but like, there's a lot of similarities between John Franklin Myers' game and him. Because again, John Franklin Myers, I felt like he won a lot on pure effort and being able to beat small guys on the stunt and be able to chase after the quarterback. And that's kind of a lot of what Grayson Halton does. But otherwise, I don't have so much of a fair comp, about what else he would be. I always just try to look at it as much of like, okay, who resembles what John Franklin Myers did the most scheme fit wise, and then kind of went from there. But curious, maybe Kodiak or Jeremy, if you guys have any ideas.
So honestly, the one that stuck out to me, this isn't like a NFL comp, but I remember when I was watching Ed Oliver, I remember in the 2019 draft cycle, he reminded me a lot of Ed Oliver because I remember Ed Oliver at Houston. If you guys remember, like early on in the 2019 draft cycle, I'm talking summer 2018, he was getting legit buzz as a top 3 pick in that draft because he was so dominant as an interior defensive lineman. But you know what? I think that's kind of the way I saw it, and I think that would make sense. Like, Ed Oliver has had to reinvent his game, and he went more of like a like just pure traits guy when he was at Houston to refining and being like more powerful when he was with the Buffalo Bills. And I think that's something that Halton could do as well, because you already talked about like the juice that he has and the effort that he plays with. And I think that's similar. A guy that I also think fits that mold, or actually, do you have a comp before I hit that? Yeah.
I just wanted to pull this up from PFSN. Going back to last year's draft, I remember a guy that we talked about a lot, just kind of, again, in the mold of JFM, was Aeneas Peebles. And
I remember Peebles from last year,
yeah. Drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. So I thought that was interesting that he was like a 90 or 89% match on here. So they also gave his best traits here, his explosive motorness, agility, and twitch. So yeah, I would say that's more JFM as well. So yeah, Kodiak, we can move on to the other player you were wanting to talk about.
Yeah, of course. So this guy doesn't have a whole lot against quality competition, and maybe I'm just getting eyes on the fact that he completely dominated at Southeastern Louisiana. So he was at a smaller school, but I'm telling you guys, Caleb Proctor is absolutely legit. Okay. So if you watch Caleb Proctor, like he, in my opinion, the only knock I really have on him is that he does not have that much against the upper tier schools or not much experience against those because he had, I think his RAS was above a 9. I know it was above a 9, but you look at everything from PFF right here. Okay, 90.4 pass rush grade, true pass set pass rush grade 84.3, pass rush win rate 13.7, and he had a lot of pressures this past year. I think this past year he had around 37 pressures from the interior defense, so I think that's really good. And I think with the Broncos, I think what you're looking for is since you have shown a really good effort to develop players on the trenches, and you've had breakouts from guys like not only Wazirike, but Zach Allen hitting a completely different stride. I want to draft these high ceiling guys, and obviously you see the 33-inch vertical at 291 pounds. Now, one thing that would have made me feel way better about Proctor is if he did the bench press, because ultimately you don't know if he's just dominating smaller guys or small school guys, and if that's going to translate to the NFL. But you know what? I think he's toolsy enough to where I'm willing to make it work. Okay. I'm willing to, if we are going to go this route, which I think interior defensive line, I think it would be better solved by a different route than the draft, but that's a different discussion. But Proctor is one of the guys I would like because I think he is going to be available in the range that you're targeting him. But I could also see a team falling in love with him. Okay. There's always going to be some small school guy who gets drafted in the second round. Yeah, they might be a little overrated by like Sky Moore, but then you get to these sorts of guys, and I'm willing to take a shot on these interior guys, especially on the defensive line, because you rotate those positions, And if there's any area you want to over extrapolate, it's the trenches.
Yep.
And they rolled on the offensive line with a guy named Quinn Miners from a small school like that before. That worked out pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure did. No, I love that pull, man. Caleb Proctor would be awesome too. Because he's that good mix of he can dominate at the competition level that he did, and you could always keep developing him there as well. And again, like a little bit undersized, but anytime you continuously read scouting reports and they say elite athlete with rare playmaking ability as an interior defender, you're like, sign me up for that. Like you can work with that, and you can develop all the other stuff, but at least those guys can typically get into some sort of a rotation, which is always nice to get him in early too.
Especially with these small school guys. I think these, like all-star bowls, Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, like all this stuff is pretty important just to see like how they stack up against guys that played at, the highest collegiate level. But from, I don't know, all the stuff that I remember like reading or listening to is like Caleb Proctor was, separating himself. He was having great days of practice. And so I'm not really concerned much about the small schools production. If maybe the athletic testing wasn't there, I would be a little bit more concerned. But yeah, I think if somehow he could fall to like our 4th round pick, one of them, that would be fantastic. I think that would be great. Any other thoughts on Caleb Proctor? Otherwise, Jeremy, we'll have you give your first name.
I was just going to say Caleb Proctor is PFF ranks him at like 111. So that he could be in range for that. Not saying that's going to be where he gets drafted, but that's where we have it. I have not gone deep on the back end of the trench guys. So if you guys have another name that you guys want to throw out there, go for it.
I do.
Okay,
We'll get right to it, man. I love the Navy guys. You guys know Eli Heidenreich needs to be in the orange and blue. And another guy from Navy that needs to be in orange and blue is Landon Robinson. This guy is literally Aaron Donald if he went to Navy. I'm saying it. This guy's an absolute beast. I'll bring up his RAS score as well because you guys know that I love that. But okay, talk about intangibles. Navy. All right. You don't have to worry about any off-field stuff. He's going to come in with great leadership, great work ethic. You guys know, according to some of the fake insiders we got in the chat sometimes, listening is very important on this team. And I have no doubt that Landon Robinson is going to be a fantastic listener. He's in the military. Look at this, a 9.40 RAS. Explosive, super agile, man, on the defensive line. Now, is a little bit lighter, 293 pounds, and you're not having him play nose tackle, but an extremely powerful player that's compact, kind of like, Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald is more like, the outlier to the rule, right? But again, he's the combination of strength, agility in this kind of small package makes him tough to block, man. So going out to PFSN, I mean, they rated his top traits over 9 as explosiveness at 9.4, and then agility and twitch, balance and leverage, and motor all at 9.1. So I think he's a guy that could play really well at altitude and give opponents difficulty. And do they have, I guess they don't have comps yet for him. That's like super annoying. So just go with my comp, and that is freaking Aaron Donald, like the best defensive lineman in the game. So if we could get the best defensive lineman in the game in like the 4th round, that would be incredible. Other thoughts on Landon Robinson?
Yeah, David, I was going to ask you. I think I asked you this like a week or two ago. Do you have any concern that he's 5'11"?
No, I don't. And you guys know I hate short football players. I think it's stupid. But no, 5'11" is just fine if you're an athletic freak. Good question, though.
Fair.
Great question. Guys, I know we've talked a little bit about defensive line. Did you guys have any offensive linemen that you wanted to hit on? Kodiak? May I guess? May I take a guess?
Sure.
Were you going to talk about Demetrius Crownover?
I wasn't going to, but you know what? We can. Okay.
Let's double down on your guys.
Okay. So, you know what? Demetrius Crownover, he is a guy who has the 2nd best arm length in this class. And the craziest thing about that is that he's doing it as a converted tight end to offensive tackle. That's one of my favorite things about Demetrius Crownover. And, you think about Demetrius Crownover, you watch him, and he is just so powerful. One of my favorite things about Crownover is that, he's battle tested because he did play this past year against, those SEC pass rushers, but he is good. Trust me, he's really good. He's one of those guys that I feel like he's still relatively new to the position, and you can see that, when you're watching him. But either way, I think he is absolutely fantastic. I think, once again, you watch him and some of the wins are absolutely dominant. I think if you're just betting on flat out tools, then you're going to like a guy like Crownover. But, he is an older prospect, which I think will drop him just a little bit. Either way, I think he's a better run blocker right now than he is a pass blocker. So you are going to, look to improve his, I'm trying to think like his pass blocking skill set a little bit more. I think his NFL run blocking skill set's a little bit better, but hey, in Streif we trust, right? Anybody have any thoughts about Crownover?
I'm in on Demetrius Crownover, man. I think Zach Streif can, again, turn somebody that's a little bit more raw into a really great offensive lineman. So if he ends up being the pick, I have all the confidence in the world. He'll be closer to reaching his potential than just staying at his floor.
Yeah, I think he's physically a stud. The only concern is he's been a right tackle most of the time in his career, which is fine because obviously we have a right tackle that's contract is coming up or set to expire. He's also getting a little bit older in Mike McGlinchey, so we could use somebody on the right side. But I mean, otherwise, the dude's a monster of a man. Sometimes when you're 6'7", 6'8" like that, like it could work to your detriment because you almost lose balance. But he's always been someone that I've been intrigued by just because of the sheer size. I mean, 336 pounds. I think he had like 35-inch arms or something crazy like that. And
That's crazy.
And he played at Texas A&M, which they had a solid line all year, but also playing in the SEC. Any concerns that he's almost 25?
Honestly, we like our older prospects. for what it's
We do.
worth. Okay,
We
so
do.
like if you're talking about like a developmental guy, maybe a little bit, maybe you'd rather go for like a Bowery or a Bell or a, or a Casey if you're like fishing in that range because of the fact that he is almost 25. But I mean, I think it's, I think he's one of those that I would rather have a shot on some of these other guys because I think they're honestly more fun projects than he is. That being said, I'm still in. Like, I'm still very in on Crownover. So, yes, I think since he is a developmental guy, a little bit of concern, if he was ready to, come in and be a starter right away, then I'd be like, hey, that's working to his benefit. But we don't need him in that role, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 24 and a half is, kind of young for our average age drafted. So not too worried about it.
No, me too.
But yeah, Garrett Bowles ended up being okay. Maybe Crownover can be. Mark, who's one of your guys?
So going, sticking on the offensive side, I know we've talked ad nauseum about like Jennings Dunker, who I love, right? But one guy that's really piqued my interest, man, is, and Broncos did have a top 30 visit with him, so that probably means that we're not gonna draft him. But that's Jude Bowery, the tackle from Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's obviously a little bit different than Demetrius Crownover because he's not like a 6'8" guy. He's 6'5", 311. He's a little bit lighter. But, man, I just did the math for how many snaps he had. It was over 1,300. Let me see if I have the exact number real quick. Over 1,300 offensive snaps played at left tackle in his 2.5 years of really starting at Boston College. And he's given up 2 sacks in 1,300 snaps. 0 sacks last year, given up. Only 2 quarterback hits. So he's been extremely solid in that regard. And he's super athletic. I think we like the really athletic lineman. Like you're talking the tackle that's eventually going to replace Garrett Bowles at some point. So it could be 2, 3, 4 years down the road. But all he really needs to do based off of everything that you hear about him is that he just needs to get stronger. Cool. He's got the time to be able to do that. But he's a pure left tackle, and he doesn't let his quarterback get hit, clearly. I don't know how the competition at Boston College necessarily was or the kind of offense that they ran, but pretty damn impressive when you're giving up 2 sacks in 1,300 snaps. So I really like Jude Bowery. I think he's the perfect type of tackle with one of those 4th-round picks. I think he'll be there too.
Yeah, he could be a guy ready to go when, Bowles' time is up, which sucks to think about.
It does.
But yeah. And I'll pull up his RAS score as well. If you guys haven't seen it, 9.73 or 3.7.
That's pretty
unofficial. Good. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought he was like an 8 guy.
Wow. Elite explosion. So how about that?
Love it.
How about that?
Yeah, man.
All right. There's one guy I want to talk about, and then we can finish off with you, Kodiak. Unless, Jeremy, you got somebody too.
No, I just thought it would be fun if we could draft Caleb Proctor and Caden Proctor.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Just get them both.
Just all the Proctors, please.
We put Caden at guard, though. That's what we're doing. Okay,
yeah, I wonder if NFL GMs or like front offices, if that would actually like bother them. Like, let's say they loved Caden Proctor, they took him, and then they really liked Caleb Proctor, but would they be like, we'll just go with the other guy so we don't draft to do with the same name? Like, do you think that has any impact, or you just don't think they care at all?
I don't think they care, but I don't think
the Broncos don't really have a lot of room to talk. They got 2 Paytons, but yeah, I mean.
Well, do you remember that story? I can't remember who the player was, but the team drafted the wrong.
Oh yeah, it was the freaking Raiders.
Yes.
They drafted the wrong guy.
Oh, they drafted the wrong
because they had the same name.
Byron Young,
yeah.
That's just so funny, dude.
Yeah, that's the most Raiders thing.
And the funniest thing is the guy they wanted to draft ended up being, I think, like a pretty solid player, and then the guy that they took was like ass. So yeah, that's just unbelievable.
And then they could call if we drafted both Proctors, we could call them the Proctologists and just really have a great nickname. That'd be a great poster.
Yeah. Okay. Next guy I want to talk about here. We just visited with him. Guys, I'm going to talk about him early. I'm going to drop a video on him tomorrow. So still, please give me some love. Hype it. But this guy in like the 6th, 7th round, Caden Barnett, His nickname is the Vanilla Gorilla.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Done.
That's the best nickname ever.
yeah,
Yes.
this like I feel like it's over now. Like he just needs to be a Bronco. And when you you can look up some of his highlights. It's done by like I think it's like Portuguese account or something like that. I don't even know the language. So you don't know what they're saying, but the film's on there. Man, this guy's such a beast. He's a mauler. He's pancaking dudes. He's throwing little punches in at the end. This guy plays with a mean streak. Yeah, it definitely lives up to the name Vanilla Gorilla. And kind of struggled at right tackle. Okay. Played right tackle mainly in 2023 and 2024. You see, he gave up 7 sacks in 2024, but then kicked into right guard. And at 6'5", 320, that's like perfect guard size. And he was killing it, man. Great in zone. He's a guy that if he gets a step on you, he's going to clear big paths. And once he gets his hands on you, he's going to create some issues for you. So he would be a great developmental guy to have behind, Ben Powers, Quinn Miners. Of course, we like, where Paltro's at right now. We'll see what happens with Gargiulo. But, last year we took Jeremy Crawshaw. That was pretty cool. He's kind of a memeable guy. Vanilla Gorilla, I think, would just go viral. So, like, him and Frank Crum, I think, would be pretty cool to have on the team. I'm a fan of having Wyoming guys on the Broncos.
I mean, dude, and you said, I don't know if he showed it, but he played a lot of right tackle before going to guard.
Yeah.
Right. And I freaking love that. Like, because I mean, he could obviously, maybe he's a better guard in the NFL, but he certainly has the size and length to be a tackle. That versatility is always so invaluable, man. Like, you just have a guy that can, I mean, look at what Palczewski's done for us, just basically ask the guy to play wherever the hell he needs to. And he thrives. So I love that's why I like Jennings Dunker so much. This guy fits that mold perfectly. So dude, the Vanilla Gorilla, we almost have to take him. Like, if we got to take him a little bit early just to get somebody with that name on the squad.
Yeah.
Like, that rolls off the tongue even better than Clay Spray did.
Yeah,
It does. That's
Vanilla Gorilla is solid.
I can't believe I never
I
heard
love
somebody
that.
say that before, honestly. That's an excellent nickname.
Yeah, Vanilla Gorilla. All right, Kodiak, close us out in this segment with one more offensive lineman.
All right. So, I've been on record by saying I think when it comes to the offensive lineman you're drafting for the Broncos and the developmental guy you're getting, I think it matters more that you take one rather than who it is. But, obviously Eli Raridan is currently my number one for pick 62. And I've said that. I don't think that's a secret for anybody that I love some Eli Raridan. But my second option for pick 62 right now is Miami offensive tackle Markel Bell. Okay, I talked about Crownover's arm length being absolutely absurd, but Markel Bell's arms are 36.5 inches. Okay.
Goodness.
I think that has to be one of the longest ever measured with the NFL, database within the last 5 years. Like, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And he was at Miami, and man, I feel like he was really, really good. A lot of people think he has a limited ceiling. I don't see that at all. Okay. He's 6'9", somewhere between 340 and 360. So the thing with that is I feel like the Broncos, they usually don't go for these like super fat guys that need to lose a lot of weight to play at altitude. That being said, I feel like Markel Bell is really fun. I remember watching him against R. Mason Thomas. I was just like, wow, this dude is getting absolutely stonewalled. Every single snap, I felt like Markel Bell was just absolutely obliterating this guy. But yeah, no, I think this guy is really, really good. Obviously, he played in a strong offensive line ecosystem this past year with Francis Mauigoa, who is in contention for the number 3 overall pick to the Arizona Cardinals. So that's something you got to weigh as well. But either way, Markel Bell is 6'9", anywhere from 340 to 360. So he's like, I don't know, how do you put this? I talked about Caden Proctor being a part of the Mekhi Becton mold. I think Markel Bell is a part of that as well. And I feel like Markel Bell is super duper duper underrated movement wise, especially I think for 6'9", he is, and 340, he is absolutely incredible. Okay. Has anybody else dove a little bit into Markel Bell?
No.
He's fun. 36.5-inch arms. That's all you need to know.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Dude's ginormous, man.
6'9", 345 is what he's listed at.
Dude, that's 95th percentile arm length.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like these guys aren't even going to touch him.
Yeah, I always just worry about dudes that are that tall. Like it rarely works in the NFL. I mean, it doesn't mean that it can't, but 6'9" is insane. Like he'll make Frank Crum look tiny. Who's the tallest guy we've ever had here? I think it's Frank Crum now. It used to be.
It's gotta be, yeah.
It used to be in McGlinchey. But I mean, I remember there's been a couple dudes that, you know, were 6'7" plus, and it just doesn't always seem like it works out for him. But I mean, dude, it'd be fun. He's got all the tools. I'll tell you that. So I don't know. And I feel like the Broncos also visited with another dude, the guy from Memphis. I'm like scarred from Memphis from that.
Travis Burke.
Travis Burke. I think he's 6'2", right? I'm pretty sure Travis Burke is. Let me pull him up real quick. But he was like some incredibly large guy.
He is.
Yeah, 6'9", 315. So he's skinny. He's a skinny 6'9", but played left tackle for 2 years, then played right this last year. I remember looking into him a little bit too, but I get a little worried with the tall dudes, but I don't know why the hell not.
And then there's Diego Pounds, who's also 335 pounds. With the nickname Diego Pounds, and he's 6'6", 335. Isn't that like, that's the perfect name for a person that's 6'6", 335 pounds.
That is.
Yeah, that's
From
like
Ole Miss.
prosthetic, man.
Yeah.
Diego Pounds, dude. We get Diego Pounds and Vanilla Gorilla. It's over.
Yes.
It's over for everybody.
Like all names team, man. I love it. Man, guys, these are all great finds. And Kodiak, to get back to your original point here with Markel Bell, dude, if we go trenches 62, you're not going to hear any complaining from me, man. We have gone away from that position, unlike the rest of the NFL, and I think we're lucky that it's worked out the way that it has. We haven't drafted an offensive tackle since Garrett Bowles, which is insane. That's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. And another thing I will say about that is I think I'm fine with taking a tackle who you at least can play tackle because I feel like our interior pipeline is fine. Okay. Now you can never have enough offensive linemen, but I feel like Palcho, Forsyth, and maybe even Gargiulo, because of how good he looked, you know, and how he looked before he had that injury this past year. I feel like that's fine. Whereas, you know, you're one injury away from seeing, as Respect My Co's puts it, crumb hoops. Okay. You're one injury away again from seeing parrot hoops on the left side. And you guys remember, you know, I know Parrot was hurt in the London game, but that looked like it could have ruined our season. So I'm looking to get a little bit better there. And I would like to get a developmental guy there. Once again, I want a tackle. Okay. Interior offensive line, would I be fine with? Sure. Okay. But I want a tackle if we are going to go that route of developing an offensive lineman.
Well said, man. I think we got time, guys, to do a fun little mock draft. But before we do that, I'm going to need your help. Guys, Prize Picks, they're sponsoring David Talks Broncos now. Get ready.
Let's do it.
Link is in the description, y'all, where, hey, you deposit $5 and you'll get like, you know, a $50 bonus if I can find my overlay to put over here. Okay. But guys, I also got some great deals if you sign up. Right now, they're also doing a promotion to where you get 5 just $10 bonus plays. So that's fun. But they do have some NFL props out right now, guys. So Kodiak, Jeremy, Mark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a little category here for the NFL season for yearly totals. And you will pick the player that I'm going more or less for. We'll put $1 on it. You know, it's kind of like a parlay type thing or a combo. And we'll see how it does this year. So, Kodiak, I'm going to give you passing yards, okay? We can go with any quarterback here, but if you are wondering, we could go with Bo Nix at 3,499.5 passing yards. But is there a quarterback you would like to play?
Keep scrolling up. keep scrolling up. Okay, I'm trying to think of guys in strong offensive ecosystems. Tyler Shuck being at 3,600 is crazy to me. Okay, I'm not going to do. Yeah, no, that's absolutely ludicrous, especially with how. I mean, I guess it could work out. Another one of these guys, Josh Allen. I guess 3,500 makes sense for where he is. Maybe scroll up one more, and I can find one that I really, really like. Okay, Brock Purdy almost at 4K. That's crazy. You know what? I'm a believer in Caleb Williams. Okay. I'm a believer in Ben Johnson. I'm a believer in the entire system of what they're building in Chicago. And obviously, they've built a lot into that offensive ecosystem. So obviously, you have Ben Johnson, but you're going to have Colston Loveland in year 2. Luther Burden looked absolutely fantastic in the back half of this past year as well. And yeah, overall, I think Caleb Williams is the guy in Chicago, and that offensive line is going to get more cohesive. The only thing that could prevent this from, getting, I think, from him reaching his over other than injury is the fact that they still have a strong run game. They still might lean on those,
Yes.
Especially because they are going to be playing against better teams this year. Obviously, they had Swift and Monunga this past year, and they did pretty dang good, especially in the back half of the year. But yeah, you know what? I'm a believer in Caleb Williams, so give me the over on Caleb.
Dude, let's go. We're going to get that going. The Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer, but that's changing. That's changing this year. He almost did it last year. Okay. Let's see. Jeremy. We're going to go with passing TDs. This is a fun one over at quarterback. Tell me where to stop. I'll just call out a few of them. Matthew Stafford is, line at 30.5. Drake May is at 24.5. Justin Herbert's at 23.5. Sam Darnold's at 22.5. And let's see here. Jalen Hurts at 21.5. Tyler Shook. They got him thrown for like 4,000 yards, but the TD line's at 17.5. What's going on there? And
they know they're going to be down a lot of games and probably just chucking it.
Yeah. They got Malik Willis at 16.5. Bo Nix is at 24.5.
Scroll back up for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to bet on Bo because I don't want to jinx anything. So we're just going to leave that alone. I think he's going to surpass all those things, but we'll save that for another day. Keep going. Wait, slow down. Sorry, go down one more. I want to do Caleb Williams again, but let's do Sam Darnold. I mean, 22.5. He's going to do better than that.
Yeah.
Like he's certified like the guy there now. I know they lost their running back. I think they'll be leaning into that
for like
more.
30 touchdowns last year, man.
Yeah, 22.5 is low.
Okay. All right. Mark, we're going to go receiving yards here. Okay.
All right. I dig it.
Right. Puka Nacua is at 12.99.5. JSN's at 13.24.5. Justin Jefferson is at 11.49.5. Who knows how that's going to go with Kyler Murray? Amon-Ra is at essentially 1,200. Cortland Sutton is at 7.99.5. Colston Loveland at 8.74.5. C-Mac at 5.99. You see one you like, Mark?
Do they have odds? Did they have odds? Just wondering on Waddle. I just want to know what they're.
Yeah, they do. Last one, 8.49.5.
Interesting.
Damn, that's tough. 8.49. Okay, go up. Let me see. Man, I don't even know. I'd say that. So you see how it says Jerry Jeudy 725.5?
Yeah.
Hit the under on that. He ain't
Dude.
getting it. Fuck Jerry Jeudy.
Dude, let's go, y'all. We're going to throw $1 on this. It's going to be fun. If it hits, we win $6. And
hell yeah, bro.
With you guys. So let me.
Maybe 3 gallons of gas then, but most likely a gallon and a half.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're betting for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, how do I put this freaking play in? I'm ready to go.
Go down.
Auto accept. I feel like a boomer.
Submit
There we go.
There you go.
All right, we got it
All right,
in here.
Unc.
Yeah, successful. Thanks again for Prize Picks for sponsoring the show. Thanks guys for partaking in the fun with me. And now let's finish this thing out with a mock draft. Let's get to it, guys.
And shout it out in the chat if you guys have
Yes.
people you
I'm
want.
not looking at the chat, so y'all let me know.
Okay.
All right. Pick 62. Few guys that went off the board. Ahead. AJ Halsey. So there goes the safety. Jennings Dunker. Jadarian Price. Jake Golday. Eli Stowers. Jacob Rodriguez. Okay. And Josiah Trotter. I don't know if I mentioned him already. So Caleb Tiernan. Guys, we have. Let's see who we got. Grayson Halton's available. Mike Washington. Kodiak, do you still say he's a first round pick?
Yes. Like, I have a first round grade on him, of course.
I heard some pushback on Mike Washington about his fumbling. He averaged
a lot.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't concern me as much as the mid production his first 3 years at Buffalo does.
Ooh, okay. We got Dominique Orange available. Max Clare.
I think we should trade back. We have a trade offer.
Yeah.
Dude, we got a trade offer. Yeah, we got Seattle at 64, Titans at 66, and the Vegas Raiders at 67. Which one y'all want?
Let's see the Titans. Let's see how many picks they got.
Dude, they got a lot.
All right, see if they'll do for 101.
No, they won't. Man,
okay, how about for 101, and we'll give them 170.
Okay.
And we'll give them 170 and 246. Or 257.
257.
Yeah, this should get them over the finish line. Come on. You want Mr. Irrelevant?
Let's
Yes.
go. I love it. All right.
All right.
Now
Dominique Orange off the board. All right. Where y'all want to go with this? Come on, somebody speak up. Anthony Hill's still available.
There's Sam Roush. Give me your.
I mean, you know, I want Sam Roush. That's my golden pick at the first time. You know, whether it's 66 or 62.
Show me running back. Show me tight ends. Show me linebackers. Just so that's who we basically focused on for the most part.
Okay.
Check LB and DL immediately. Yeah, we got you, Darian.
Put some DL right there. I think for the sake of the show, we should go with Grayson Halton.
Since today was Trenches Day?
Yeah. Today is Trenches Day.
I think I'm on board with that, yeah.
All right. We're going to do that. All right. Pick 101.
All right. Show me the same. There's Jonah Coleman. Show me the same positions, please.
Y'all know I love Jonah Coleman.
See, and think how nice this is, man. You're picking now 101, 108, 111. Like, you can genuinely get any of the three guys of anybody that you like here to choose that you feel like are going to be there. So, I mean, I love the idea of getting as many picks in that like 95 to 120 range.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's real nice. All right. What y'all feeling here? We got a lot of names we all like except Michael Trigg.
I like Michael Trigg.
So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you take Jonah Coleman because I think there's a difference between, Coleman and whoever else is going to be available within this upcoming pick as opposed to the offensive linemen that are going to be available. Okay. Like I said, I already talked about, Bell, Cranover, Bowery, Casey. I don't really have a preference as far as, the rest of those guys. Obviously at Bell number one, but it matters to me that we take one rather than, at running back. I think Coleman fits this really well. The fourth.
Yeah.
Got my vote.
I'm with that. I think the drop off after Coleman is pretty big.
What do you guys think of Deontay Lawson, by the way?
I like him.
I haven't really seen him that much.
I like the other linebacker, Justin Jefferson. I think he would be better later if he could do it.
Yeah.
No, the Texans took Caleb Proctor. I mean, we already got Halton, so.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, so who do we take?
We took Jonah Coleman. But Mark, why don't you give us your take here for 108?
So we got our back. We have our interior tackle. All right, we got 108, 111. I would probably. I'd go with one of the tackles. I mean, if who else is available on the OT? So if it was me, man, I would do either Jude Bowery or Cage Casey. I mean, I like both those guys. Demetrius Cronover would be fine too. Or you can look at taking one of them at 111, and if there's somebody that you like more at 108 that you feel like, oh, they won't, because you can see the ADP for Cronover is 108.1, so he actually might be taken from here between now. So I'm good with that, but yeah,
I'm definitely more of a Jude Bowery fan.
What's that?
I'm definitely more of a Jude Bowery fan over Cage Casey.
Okay, so let's look at tight ends then, because I love the idea of getting a tight end in this part of the draft too.
Mark, your favorite, Michael Trigg.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, Jolie.
We could just go ahead and draft Oscar Delp here.
You got Raritan.
I think I would run to the podium if Justin Jolie was available, but I don't think he's going to be there. He is here, but I don't think in real life. Like, I try to make it as real. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'll take Eli Raritan and not even think about it. Kodiak, I know you love him. He's tight end 2 for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. We'll do it. Then 3 picks later, do we double down on trenches and go Jude Bowery?
Give me linebackers real quick.
Or let's take a look at linebacker too. Deontay Lawson. There's some good linebackers here.
I make a point about Bryce Betcher. I really like Bryce Betcher. I think he's that guy that's just like an Alex Singleton market correction, like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think he could be the guy who comes in. He knows where everybody's supposed to be immediately. He's younger. He's he just fits like the exact reason why they love Alex Singleton. He brings all that with him, except for faster. And he's just one of those guys that he's going to be on the team for as long as he's healthy, for a long time. So that's a good.
What sold me on Betcher was, first of all, this dude was drafted in the MLB in the 13th round. So he's a hell of an athlete. Yeah. And then he walks on to Oregon. Like, not a lot of people just walk on to Oregon and then ball out when they're at Oregon. So he seems like a different kind of beast, man. Like, I obviously don't know him personally by any means, but I love stories like that. That usually screams that he's going to be a stud. So here's the only conundrum I guess we have, like you have to think about is, and I'll be totally good with Betcher, but you would basically be punting on a developmental tackle unless you wanted to take one with the last 2 picks of the draft. If you guys are good with that, then I'm good with going Betcher or Torian York, and I think Betcher would make a lot of sense. But otherwise, or Caleb Elarms, and then you could just throw a dart at a couple of 7th round linebackers. So
yeah, Kodiak,
because we don't have pick 150 no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't have our 5th round pick. That man, I screwed it up.
No, I mean, I think it's still, dude. I think this is a crazy good draft. Halton, Coleman, Raritan. I mean, but you gotta, you have to.
If I went linebacker here, I would honestly go with Deontay Lawson. But if you guys all want Bryce Betcher, let's pick him.
Is York still here?
York is also still here.
I mean, I really like York too. Especially because I feel like he fits. What they like. For as much as we like the traits and the fact that Bryce Betcher probably listens, Torian York called the defense when he was at a ripe 20 years old.
This is going to be a hot take, and I know he's undersized, but I personally just believe this, and maybe I'm crazy for thinking this. If we drafted Torian York, I think day one he's the best linebacker we have on our team.
Oh, my God. Wouldn't that just be amazing?
Now, I don't know how much he plays because our coaching staff. But this dude is like the definition of a dog. He is small, man, but he don't play small. Like I freaking love Torian York.
Okay, who's the chat talking about the most right now?
Betcher, it seems like.
All right, we're not drafting them. All right, I'm making an executive decision. We're drafting Torian York right there.
Let's go. I
Sorry,
love it.
sorry,
Dude,
Dak.
this draft would be like, I'd be on cloud 9, man.
Oh my god,
I'd love it.
dude,
Yeah, three
now-
of the 4 guys here are like my favorite dudes in the draft. So
Dude,
that'd
we'd
be
even talk about Michael Morris, who got like a 10 RAS.
cool. Mhm. Is he available in the 7th?
Yeah,
Is it the 7th round pick? Damn.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
shit.
doubt he's going to be available, but I mean, look, he had a 9.97 RAS.
Yeah, that's wild.
Holy.
What's
heck.
his snap alignment? Let me see something. I think I'll pull it up here actually.
Left guard 802.
Oh, so he's strictly a guard, which is not a bad thing at all. I mean, a freaking good one. Yeah, I mean,
he's just
Someone like
not.
that could
The
make
one
sense.
drawback is that his nickname isn't Vanilla Gorilla.
that we could figure something out for him.
Yeah, but it's not.
But
gonna
again,
be
you could also
Vanilla
go with
Gorilla.
you could also go with some of those developmental tackles too, like Travis Burke or Riley Mallman or Keegan Trost if they're all available.
Well, we got two picks left, so maybe we
Mhm.
go one guard, one tackle here.
Actually, I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Well, I think we should
I'd
go
say
with
Micah
Micah
because he's
Moore.
most likely to not be there.
Yeah, that makes it a great pick. Okay. Now for our developmental tackle, you guys got a preference? Travis Burke. I don't know anything about.
I would probably
these
take
guys.
Mallman.
You take who?
Riley Mallman.
Okay.
Because he's
pretty
played a
good.
shitload and he played at Wisconsin, which is usually pretty decent on the O line. But I mean,
Check-
that's
check
basically all I know.
He's
Check
6'8".
safety for Darian, please.
Safety
Yeah.
for.
Darian in the chat wanted it.
Oh, Darian in the chat. Gotcha.
Check
Hurry
tight
up.
end. Check tight end as well. I just want to see if there's any.
Oh, dude,
of our
Carson
bigs
Ryan's
that
available.
fall.
You know PFF hates Carson Ryan for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. They got him
Yeah.
freaking below Seydou Traore. That's disgusting, dude. That guy shouldn't even be on the board.
I know. All I see is a bunch of oversized wide receivers, a bunch of H-backs, and Carson Ryan right here.
Show me linebackers as well, real quick. I just want to see if Justin Jefferson's there.
No,
I
he should have
know.
been taken already. Oh, they did get Jaden Duggar, though. This guy that had 9.96 RAS or whatever.
They got Jimmy Rolder too.
Oh, Rolder's still available?
You want to double down on that?
Yes,
I wouldn't hate linebacker
40.
double down, but we could do the tackle if you guys want.
I mean, it depends. How much do you guys like Lavelle Bailey and Karene Reed? How much do you guys like those guys to the point where you're willing to give them security?
I don't like them
You
at
forgot
all.
about Drew Sanders. How dare you?
Oh, yeah. How dare I forget about Drew Sanders?
I don't know. I also don't like Lucas Kroll.
No, neither do I. I've made it very clear that I think he's the worst tight end in NFL history, and I have a lot of stats to back it up.
That's very true. Yeah, maybe we should go linebacker just to get these guys out of here.
You know what? I'm with Aussie. He says the more linebackers to not play over Alex Singleton, the better.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Let's just go Jimmy Rolder. Can you guys hear that horn honking? That's driving me insane.
No,
Can't hear it.
dude. So did you? I don't know if anybody picked up on this. So we could talk about this draft, but just before we get, you know, what's crazy? Because I was thought about this because we're in the 7th round, and a lot of the times it's like you sign dudes that you don't. Because like sometimes they'll have like an agreement to be a UDFA somewhere else, and George Payton talks about this. Did you know that what's his name? Oh my God, I'm blanking. What the hell? Oh, Jonathan Cooper. Jonathan Cooper had a deal to sign as a UDFA with Baltimore, and the Broncos knew that, so they just drafted him in the 7th round.
Dude. That's
He
amazing.
literally just came out and said that. I was like, holy shit! Like I had no idea. Like that's crazy. Could you like just because they made the decision to draft him and like not have to worry about him going elsewhere? I mean, talk about an unbelievable decision to make. So those kinds of things can happen a lot too, man. It's pretty wild.
That's why I like having those late sevens, because
Yeah.
if there are certain, you can reach out and talk and be like, hey, in the case that, and you can feel them out. And if it feels like there's
They're gonna
somebody
go
you really
somewhere
like
else.
and you're not
And you're
close
like,
to
"All right, we'll
locking
just
them
take your
down,
ass."
just take them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. Like, but
I
that's
mean,
crazy. It's
yeah.
like, do it like you talk about a franchise-defining type of move. I mean, missing out on Jonathan Cooper because you decided not to take him was pretty crazy. So I thought that was wild. But I'm curious how you guys feel about this, chat. How you guys feel about this draft, because I think this is an absolute home run, dude.
Dude, I'd be so happy with this draft.
Yeah.
For the fact we don't have a 1 or a 3 and ending up with, I mean, to me, yeah.
Or 1 or a 2 in this one.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I think
true,
you're
we traded
talking.
back.
You got a stud D lineman who I like, a great running back that could fit exactly what you need. Eli Raridan, who I think is literally just rare. I mean, he's just good. Like,
And he's the
absolute
worst
behemoth.
grade here, and he's the guy that it's Kodiak's number 1 at 62 at our first pick. So
Yeah, PFF said, scroll up a little bit, David. They said we should have taken Michael Trigg over Eli Raridan. Yeah.
Boo!
Yeah, PFF is. That's why that's why they fired a bunch of people because
if he they didn't
These are
fire the
stupid.
simulator.
And then Torian York, bro, like a great linebacker hybrid safety. Dude can play everywhere. And then I mean, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Jimmy Rolder plays. Michael Morris plays. Dude, PFF will never give me an A grade. I don't even know if I've ever gotten an A grade on all the dumb mock drafts I've ever done, man.
You just have to pick their whatever they have ranked high, who's fallen. That's all I mean. It's like, agree with us and we'll say you did a good job. It's like the guy grading is also the, going off their rankings. So
That's
and a
true.
grade after a draft, even in a real life draft, not a mock draft, but a real draft, it's like insane as well. Cause it's like, I don't know. We'll let you know in 3 years.
They're fun to do, but it's always like a nice reference point to go back and be like, well, let's see what I was right about. Let's see what I was wrong about,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
really emphasize the ones that you're right about, and then you just don't even mention or talk anything about what you're wrong about.
Yeah. Remember how many
that's always
bad
my
grades we got for drafting Bo Nix at 12 because he was such a reach?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's insane. So
Yeah. And I think the Vikings got a good grade with JJ McCarthy.
right. They got
Oh,
their
man.
guy.
Felt like-
They went up and got their guy.
Yeah.
Secured him. So
Oh, hey, before we go, any chance you guys think the Raiders don't pick Mendoza after signing Kirk Cousins? Is there any
No.
chance? No. Oh man.
but I don't mind them. I see exactly what they did at. It's not the dumbest
They're
move
like
in
the
the world,
same person. Yeah.
but like, I mean, just having a stability like guy to learn from, but you want to just have a guy that somebody's either your number 1 pick overall is not going to be on the field, or a guy you're paying $20 million a year is not going to be on the field. So one of the two is not going to get utilized one way or the other. So
Could you imagine what Jets fans would do if they had a chance to get Mendoza? And like, I don't even, I mean,
It'd be freaking
Are they-
sick, man.
that would be crazy. I mean, poor Mendoza, his career would probably go to shit, but that'd be a cool little, that'd be a big twist. But no, I mean, I hate the Raiders, but I think what they're doing to solve their quarterback problem is perfect.
Yeah.
Signing Kirk Cousins, knowing that now you're going to take Mendoza, like they're chilling. They're rocking
but do you
out now.
think, okay, here's the question. Do you think Mendoza, because of Kirk Cousins, doesn't start week 1?
I
They did
think
give-
that he definitely doesn't have to.
Well, he doesn't have to, but that's
Like
the
if
point.
you feel like the infrastructure around him is not that good yet, like if you feel like your O-line is struggling, they can't really get Ashton Genty going, and the defense, still sucks like it has, then why the hell would you put Mendoza in that situation? Just have Kirk Cousins get his ass beat. but if you feel like things are coming together really well for you, and like you've got solid pieces around him, then I think you got to play him. But I mean, just having that versatility is really nice for him.
Kirk Cousins' career arc for the last 3 years is so crazy, because it's like he went to Atlanta to be their tried and true number 1 guy, only to get sniped and have the number 8 overall pick come in, and now nobody cares about him anymore. And then this year he's getting paid a ton to not play for the number 1 pick overall, which is like,
dude, what a life he's lived. $321 million he has made. That's how much cash he has made at this point in his career.
That's
and he's
insane.
I mean, and he's what
just
does he want?
mid.
A playoff game? 1? That is the dream. Like, I don't feel. People are like, I feel so bad for Kirk because he got, he didn't even know they were gonna take a quarterback. Dude, who cares? Did you see the kind of money this dude's made in his career? It's insane. Absolutely
I mean, it's not the
insane.
dream. The dream is to be like Tom Brady. The dream is to play and be great, but the second best dream is to not play and get paid a ton of money.
He's like earned almost as much as Tom, but here's the thing: like he can go out in public and not get like as much attention as like Tom Brady can't even leave his house.
Right.
He's obviously so popular. Kirk is like he'll get some attention, but it's not like it's gonna ruin his life. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, in certain ways,
I don't
it's
know,
better.
man. I mean, you pick your battles, but I mean,
As a competitor, you want to play football. You want to play. You want to,
Yeah.
But
But
hey,
as a regular guy here, I'm like,
ask Chase Daniel how much money he made to not play. Remember, like he made. I think him and what's the guy who's I always forget. Blake Bortles. Those 2 guys made so much money to just be like there in backups.
I mean, even thinking about Brock Osweiler, man. Like he got a huge fat contract from Houston after he had a little run with us, and then after that, he literally just didn't care about playing football. He retired, and he was like 29. He's like, I'm good.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. One of the other things I respect about Perk Thuggins is that he's one of the only players I've ever seen just literally hit the market whenever the chance presented itself. Okay, remember Washington tagged him twice, and third, I think you can't do it 3 times in a row. So, man, he's probably the best quarterback we will ever see to always hit the open market.
And get fully guaranteed deals, man.
All the time, man.
All the time. He got one with the Vikings, and after that, he's like, no, non-negotiable. Everything's gonna have to be fully guaranteed. I know it wasn't with the Raiders this time, but it's insane.
Yeah.
And the reason why they paid is because if you come from the Shanahan tree, they love Kirk Cousins. Like they're like all about Kirk Cousins. So like if you want to sign Kirk Cousins, you're gonna have to pay because there's LaFleur's out there. There's San Diego or the Chargers, who he's from the tree, the offensive coordinator. McDaniel, you got just Shanahan himself. Like he's valuable to those guys. So that's why he's gonna get paid, because there's a market for him.
Crazy.
So, for sure.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. We'll look forward to making his life hell over this next season, man.
His accountant is saying, I like that.
And hey, looks like Michigan's about to win the national titles for basketball. So congratulations to them. Guys, anything else going on this week that they can take a look at on your channels? Kodiak?
Well, not necessarily on my channel, but if you guys remember last year, Draft Engage 8, it got banned. Okay, we're not going to get it banned again, but we do have it tomorrow night with Let's Talk Broncos. I don't know who else is. I know it's you, David. It's me, David, and Mark, but I don't have anybody else's phone number in the group chat, so I don't know who else is on. That being said, I'm excited for it because it feels like, draft season is rapidly approaching. And
we basically called every pick that we did except Jade Barron. So that's why you guys need to tune in tomorrow. It's going to be on all of our channels and Let's Talk Broncos, but hosted by Mario.
We got a hell of a lineup. I don't want to fully spoil it. I'll let the Let's Talk Broncos people do that, but I'll tell you off air, Cody. We got a really, really good group, man.
Heck yeah. Yes.
So guys, you won't want to miss that. Mark, anything else on your channel people can look forward to?
No, man, it's gonna be from now till the draft, all the rankings, as many film reviews as I can do that don't get copyrighted. And yeah, just breaking down as many of these players. I love doing like day 3 gems, some late guys. But the final rankings for, the main positions, I never do like offensive line or defensive line final rankings. Because I'm just not nearly like an expert enough to be able to rank them. But with D-line, it's like I got to break them down into, 3-4 defensive tackles, nose tackles. It's very tough. So I'll talk about like guys that I really like, and then but we'll do it for for running backs, for corners, for tight ends, wide receivers, all that good stuff too. So if you love draft stuff, we got a lot coming. But otherwise, no, just always talk about whatever pops up in my head on my drive home from work. That's usually how it works.
Dude, fantastic, guys. Please go subscribe to all my friends, Jeremy, Kodiak, Mark. Link is in the description. Thanks to the chat, man. Aussie, Darian. I mean, everybody that was just in here earlier. You guys made it really special. Bronco Fan 99. In here, we had over 100 people concurrently watching tonight, which was great. So y'all be sure to hype this video as well on the way out if you're on mobile. We'll be back next week. Draft's right around the corner. We'll have some more stuff to talk about. Maybe bust out the wheel of chaos. We'll have to see. But until then, guys, we'll see you. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
God bless Bo Nix. That's sacrifice. He's grabbed and he's going to be sacked.